All right, welcome back to the Business of Coaching Workshop. I'm Andrew Jackson, co-founder of Turnkey Coach, the coaching platform built by coaches for coaches. If you've spent any time in the strength and fitness world over the last few years, you've almost certainly come across the name Business of Strength. It's become the go-to gathering point for gym owners and strength coaches who want to talk about the actual business of doing things we all love while also making money. And a big part of why that community exists is today's guest. Dan Goodman started out as a client at the Varsity House gym in New York, worked his way up all the way to being a part owner in 2009. Varsity House is a strength and conditioning facility that has been running almost coming up on 2 decades here soon. And Dan is probably also best known, at least within this world and the conversation we're going to be having today, or as the co-founder and driving force behind the Business of Strength, a mastermind community that's become a must-attend event for serious gym owners and coaches who want to grow sustainable, profitable businesses. And I've been to a couple of events now and immediately picked up on just the authenticity and real-world practical experience that Dan and Joe, who's been on the podcast before, bring to the table, both in terms of sales and marketing tactics, operation tactics, and Dan's specialty in leadership. It's just really refreshing to hear and see in the fitness industry where we have a lot of stuff that's not real. The Business of Strength is the real deal. And what I respect about Dan is that he's not just theorizing. Everything he teaches, he's lived, having operated a physical facility, multiple facilities now, through every challenge you can imagine, economic downturn, global pandemic, and the constant pressure of running a service business where your product is the relationship between coach and client. So we've had some connection with Dan and the Varsity House and the Business of Strength over the last few months. With Turnkey Coach, we've become strategic partners. And I'm excited to have you on the show, Dan. Thank you for taking time out of your day, and excited to hear what you got to say.
Thanks for the intro, Andrew. I appreciate being here, and being with Mac over the last weekend in London was awesome as well. Coming off the heels of Trainer Empire and being thrust back into the action here today. At the end of the day, I love the opportunity to talk shop about gym business growth. I'm a coach at heart, always have been, always will be. I was an athlete for sure for years, but I would like to think that I'm a better coach than I was athlete, and I love seeing people realize their goals. And now I'm doing that, like you said, through the Business of Strength, and seeing some of our leaders at Varsity House Gym grow into just amazing operators. And I think everybody has the ability to do it. In London, I asked the room, and there's people from all over the place, right? We're talking Scotland, Sweden, people flew from California, Pennsylvania, Toronto. It really was a diverse room of 35 or so people. I said, hey, who in here doesn't have any business issues or problems? And no hands went up, including ours. Like, we're sitting here, there's 650 customers at Varsity House Gym, right? There's 40 people in the Business of Strength Mastermind. We saw over 500 guests attend our events last year. There's always problems to be had, okay? It's just understanding that, hey, your ability to handle stress, just like in training, does definitely evolve. And your ability to prioritize what's most important that I can take action on, that will actually yield a result that can have a really profound impact on my career right now. And I thought today's the best usage of the next half an hour or so would be on something that I don't think is that sexy for people selling training, but it's something that in our stage of business, like you said, being in year 20, paid massive, massive dividends in 2025. And that is focusing on your retention. And how amazing defense, before the call started, and I know your Seahawks won the Super Bowl, how amazing defense, whether you're selling coaching online, whether you're selling coaching brick and mortar, whatever it may be, having fantastic service in person yields more clients because you become undeniably great, and people can't help but talk positively about you, and you absolutely can systemize that. And the next half an hour or so, I'm going to do my damnedest to help shed a light on some of those things. So in 2025, I had a goal for our team. And again, it's 3 locations. It's 15 full-time people. Sometimes it can be hard to get people all on the same page, let alone in the same room. And I said, look, this is our attrition percentage. This is our churn percentage. And this is what history has proven from 2024. If we can just improve in each building by 1%, just 1%, it will have a profound impact on how many people we can serve. So I said, is everybody on board with that? Everybody's like, oh, absolutely. We could do that. No problem. So, okay, cool. Well, if we do it, we're going to have our annual retreat at the Olympic Training Center in Utah, Park City. And if we do it, we're all going. And now oh my goodness. All right, cool. Well, the rubber met the road, and now we have to cut a big ass check to take the whole team to Utah. But here's the thing. The money's in the bank. It's there. It had a profound, to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars, to the bottom line of our businesses in 2025. And really, it came back to focusing on the service experience. And I'll give credit where it's due to Turnkey, where, we layered in the Turnkey Coach software and services to improve the service quality that our end user, being the client, was getting in person. So you guys were part of that process, and I'm proud to be on this call, and I thank you guys for the opportunity.
Awesome. Appreciate that.
So I'm a huge movie buff. And if I was doing this with people, when people are hear this, whether it be live or in the recording, I'd like for coaches to understand, it's like, okay, you're exchanging time for money. That is our hustle. That is our business. Well, outside of the hustle of the session or the recording of videos or whatever it may be, if people observed your actions for a week, what would they say your priorities are? So you are living in the Truman Show, Andrew. What are your priorities? If you show me your schedule, like, what is on your schedule to support the things that you're supposed to be doing in a given week? So, obviously here it's with a coach, it's okay. Let's say we're coaching 25 hours. All right. Well, how many hours are spent towards the programming? How many hours are spent in your text messages? How many hours are spent on celebrating milestones? How many hours are spent on marketing to new customers? What does it look like? Show me your schedule, and it will probably show me what your priorities are. For us in 2025, we doubled down on the defensive marketing to our customers, where each and every coach in our organization, they got a defensive scorecard that had the things, and I'll go through it in a moment here, that had a checklist of things that was like brushing their teeth outside of the delivery of the coaching. To make sure service quality outside of the hour, 2, maybe 3 hours that people spend with us on a weekly basis. And fortunately for us, it paid massive dividends. So you guys were at trainer school, and we had Coach Scott Leach, and I want to give Scott a plug here. Scott is the head of strength and conditioning at the University of Rhode Island, my alma mater. And he talked about something, and I didn't know this, the derivative of the word coach comes from the word stagecoach. I had no idea. And stagecoach, obviously back in the day, was to deliver somebody for money from point A to point B safely. Well, the same thing can be said about a coach. Andrew, I want to bench 400, I want to squat 500, and I want to lose 10% body fat. Good luck. But, hey, look, it's your job to take me there from point A to point B, however long it's going to take, and hold me accountable to doing the thing. Well, if I'm willing to train for 2 hours a week, but I eat like I'm going to a goddamn carnival every weekend, it's going to be pretty difficult to get there, right? Well, I've hired you, hold me accountable to do it, help me make better choices, kind of instigate some success, and help me get there. And a quote I think about here is coaching, our goal here, our mantra, so to speak, is to dramatically improve the lives of those in our communities through world-class coaching, meaningful connections, underlying connections, and training experiences that become the best hour of our client's day. to exceed the expectation. Yeah, go ahead.
Quick question. Sorry to interrupt, Dan, but I think
Yeah.
we might not be seeing your live slide. We're
no?
still on the 1% advantage slide. Not sure if that's where you want to be, but
Oh, no. Not sure why it's coming up on my screen. Sharing a window. Display settings. How about now?
we're seeing looks like it's PowerPoint. It's got the whole each slide on the left,
Let
like
me
1,
see.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then slide 1 at the.
How about now?
There we go. We're on Truman Show now.
I was in presenter mode.
Okay.
I'll just stay in this mode if that's better for everybody.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, cool. All right. So, Coach, there's a stage, Coach, but you got that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're good? Okay. All right. So, moving forward. So, obviously, here, it's to take people from point A to point B and give them the best hour of their day. It's to serve them. It's to create a connection, and it's to create a training experience that they want to talk about at the dinner table. They can't stop talking about. And I think it's very hard to do that in just 2 hours a week when they're with you in the gym. Can we see this? Dana. Okay, so this is my wife, Dana. This is after a long flight. This is on our honeymoon. We flew to Hawaii. This is 10 years ago. And obviously that flight from New York is far and is exhausting. And she obviously looks super thrilled to be there. And we go to this hotel. And before we get to this hotel, they're like, what time are you going to be here? What kind of drinks and snacks do you prefer when you get here? What temperature in the room? What do you want in the fridge? All these things I had never, maybe because I wasn't staying in nice enough hotels 10 years ago, but I had never experienced that level of service. And the minute we got to the hotel, there was no waiting around to get into the room, which is a massive hassle. Okay. There was waters, there was snacks, there was accommodation immediately. Service was amazing immediately. The hotel itself was not it was really nice, but it wasn't the most exceptional hotel in the world, but the service quality was amazing. And I think sometimes, I know we've thought this in the past, where in the beginning we started in a loading dock, like a shitty loading dock with terrible HVAC. We went to our second location. We bought used turf that smelled like a wet dog. It certainly was not like people think the product is the space or the equipment or all these other things. But what we always had was a high level of service, And when you can match the two, when you can serve people at a high level, your product is strong, like the equipment, the coaches, the way that you present yourself, you really can charge whatever you want. Value becomes inconsequential because people are like, wow, the service is amazing. The product is strong. Yeah, this is worth what they're charging. And the short of it is, at the end of this vacation, I got one of those like Kevin McAllister bills where it's like, Kevin, you spent how much money on room service? I spent a shitload of money because I'm just floating through this hotel. I'm like, wow, all these people love me. Well, they love my money, but they made spending money with them very, very easy. So this is another workshop drill, but this is somebody within our mastermind community, Jeremy Kaplan of Ascend Athletics, and he is a master at amplifying energy. And I think sometimes, and you see his business has had explosive growth over the last 2 years. And really, we fall in line with doing these two things really well, is highlighting people that are doing an exceptional job, which he's doing here with Ascend Athletics gear, putting them on social media, promoting their presence or their positive presence amongst their peers and giving them status within the community. That's number one. And number two, when he does these things, he just flat out asks for referrals and makes it really simple to refer people to his business. He's turned great clients like this into affiliate-based marketers. And everybody has the opportunity to do that, but a lot of times people lose track of doing that, or they don't realize the importance of doing that. It's always external, outbound facing. What about just taking somebody that is the example and recognizing them, giving them status, and then asking if they have any friends that are similar to them? And they likely do. They likely do. And his business has had explosive growth as a result of it. Service priorities. I talked about this a little bit in the beginning with the Truman Show of if somebody evaluated your priorities for a week, what would they say they were? For us, again, I'm going to doubling down on service. For us, the service priorities here, like what are your metrics? Like what are the metrics of service that are hard and fast on a piece of paper that people know they have to happen? And when do they get measured? I mentioned the defensive scorecard. Who owns it? When does it get measured? Steph in the middle here, she's with Danny K and John. They've been clients for a long time. Steph owns community management on the adult side in our Orangeburg location. Her number one metric is making sure that all of the coaches here have completed their defensive scorecard and helps them remove like any friction they might have throughout the week on actually completing it. Our goal is not to like hope people fail. Our goal is to help work them through scenarios that they might not understand. The number one metric that she's incentivized by with cash on a quarterly basis is an improvement of attrition. Well, attrition is a lagging indicator of poor service. The leading indicator is what she's looking at. Our leading indicator is making sure that coaches are doing their defensive scorecard, that clients that don't show are getting a reach out the day of. Okay. So service priorities, if you're listening to this, what metric do you have in your business that is a leading indicator whether or not we're servicing people well or not? So I just copied it. I literally copied and pasted this. It looks a little prettier than a Google Excel file, but this is what she does every single week and holds our other coaches accountable to doing every single week. This is the defensive scorecard. If a client no-shows to their session, a scheduled session, they get an immediate text message at the end of the shift. So if you're writing somebody programming online and they don't check off the session, like where's the fail switch? Are they getting a text or are they getting a call? Like what's going on? That's a leading indicator that they're slipping. Number two, media posts 2 times per week. All of our coaches are responsible for teeing up our agency for creative with 2 real-time things that happen in the gym. It could just be me smiling with Mac like we did after the seminar. It could be me showing an example of an exercise. Andrew, you do a great job of doing the picture-in-picture where you're talking over like what turnkey coach can do. Everybody on our staff has to do that twice a week. We should be able to put a face to a name. I want to humanize our business. We have to do this twice a week. The examples of what we could do here, it's results, testimonials, educational, comeback stories, whatever it may be. Every month, I have these on the desk. I've done this for a long time before Jesse Itzler started talking about this like on Instagram all the time. I read this in a book called Blue Fishing by Steve Sims a long time ago. And he just talked about the impact that a written card has on somebody that's not generic. And I think it's profound. So it's become an anchor in our business that helps build connection and rapport. And anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. Think about somebody who you love to coach. Tell them why and send them a damn card. It's got a huge, profound effect on people. We have an internal Facebook group. I know, it's been around for a minute, but it's still really effective. We have over 600 people in that group. Every coach is responsible for taking that media post that we shared out for Instagram, Twitter, whatever it may be, and just share something internally for our members. It could be, again, status in the organization. It could be something silly, adult of the month, whatever it might be. Again, it's very similar: results, testimonials, educational, comeback story. Number 5, anybody could do this. Goal reviews. Every coach is responsible for doing a goal review with one client a week, either before the shift, after the shift, or a 15-minute Zoom. And that's just straight up knowing what the goal was and helping stage coach them right from point A to point B. Dan, you said you wanted to lose 10 pounds of body fat. Why isn't it happening? What are some things you got coming up? Send me some menus. How can we get a couple quick wins? When are we going to weigh in again? That happens once a week times 15 coaches. And then number 6, again, any business can do this, is milestones. What milestones are important in your business? Is it 50 training sessions? Is it 100? Is it 200? In our business now, we have people that have over 2,000 check-ins. That needs to get celebrated. It could be a PR bell, whatever it is. There has to be things that get measured and celebrated. All right. So I wanted to show some of the messaging, and this is from Town Hall in March. I did this March 3rd or 4th, last Wednesday. This is to prove how many messages are happening in our organization, and the volume is high. This is outbound, 801 outbound messages to potential new clients. Defensively, we had 301 messages and 29 calls. Those 29 calls are goal setting messages. Okay. I'm not going to get into I should have erased this on the side here, but this is the amount of change from previous month. These numbers are slightly skewed, not making an excuse here. If you batch out a bulk message, which we did for a big promotion that we had, it's going to spike the numbers. But I just want them to see where we're at. Ridgewood, we had 602 outbound calls, defensive, 303 messages, 9 calls. Oradell 570, 219 messages, and 11 calls. The volume is super high. February, we had 48 Facebook posts. That's to our internal group. You can see the messaging on the defensive side. These are to current customers. Is extremely high. They feel the love for sure. So how is this paid off, and why should you keep paying attention? Well, money makes people pay attention. So for us, just taking an example, you do not have to be Alan from Hangover to have weird mathematics skills to understand what I'm about to walk everybody through. So as of March 3rd, we had 641 active clients. If we improve attrition by 1% per month, again, we do it again, and it is our goal. It means we will save 6.4 clients per month. 6 times an average rate of 375, and you can multiply it by whatever your client value is, equals $2,250 per month. And obviously we know this compounds. Okay, month 1 goes to month 2, month 2 to month 3. So if we take month 1 of 2,250 and we add that to month 12, by month 12 it will compound to $27,000 in saved business. If we divide that by 2, because we know we're not getting there overnight, we're going to say that slapshot effect is going to happen in month 12. We divide it by 2. It's $14,625. That will be the average for the year. 14,625 times 12 is a change in our business of $175,500 in a cumulative year. That's massive. You would say I don't have 641 clients, or I'm not charging 375. I don't care. Run your numbers through that equation. Let's say you have 100 clients and you're charging $200 a month. The windfall is still massive. So what's your number? Know this number, and I think it can have a profound impact on any business. Moving on here, this is a sexy word now too, client acquisition cost. Alex Hermosi talks about this all the time. This is the number you should know. Let's just say, for instance, this is the for instance for us. For us, it costs about $300 to acquire a new customer on average. At 5% attrition on 641 clients, it means that we're going to lose nearly a client every damn day. 32 clients a month. It's a shitload of people to replace. So 32 times 300 to replace is going to cost us $9,600 a month just to stay even. Just to stay even. Okay. 1% attrition improvement equals 6 clients retained per month. The client acquisition savings alone, 6 times 300 is $1,800 a month. That equals about $22,000 saved annually in just the front end acquisition. So when we amortize all these things, the 1% effect for us, obviously by 1% by the savings is 175 grand. It's $21,000 and some change in the client acquisition costs. It's nearly $200,000 in dollars that actually happened in our business. I'll gladly spend the $30,000 or $35,000 to take the full team to Park City and have a blast for 3 days, in which we will close the 3 gyms. By improving your retention, client satisfaction is way higher. You have the disposable income because most of that hits your bottom line as profitability. And in our case, it's enabled us to self-propel the next projects without having to take dollars from other people.
You said something I want to double click on real quick because this is happening without having to spend any money, to buy any equipment, to pay any other agency. You're leveraging the resources that you have today to get these results.
Totally.
You're just focusing them on how they can spend their time in a way where you get a $200,000 return on investment.
100%.
So I mean that's pure profit, but like you said, it drops pretty much straight down to the bottom line.
And I know a lot of people are going to be listening to this that are very focused on online coach. I have an online business too. The Business of Strength is an online business. It is a fully online business. Now we've layered in an in-person component that I think everybody can do. But if you told me to start all over again and you told me I could only take 10 people with me, this is exactly what I'd be focused on. It would be service quality of those 10 people. So I love this picture from Elite FTS. And, I think sometimes people listen to presentations like this, and maybe I think this because I was like this at certain points, is that you're like, oh, the numbers, I don't know. What do I need to have a scorecard for? What do I need to know my numbers for? Like, that's bullshit. Someday I'll do it. Someday I'll do it. You can't wait. You have to know your numbers today. And it doesn't have to be this, like, the framework is all here. You can, I'll share this presentation so you could have it and share with everybody. But you have to understand the metrics and what you will measure and when, regardless of the business. It's like anytime I've gotten any real results in training, I've had a coach always, and I've been measuring each and every week. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I don't know if you guys have listened to Dorian Yates on the Huberman podcast recently.
Seeing some clips of it. Yeah,
man, it is really good, really awesome show. I highly recommend listening to it. But just hearing Dorian Yates talk about the preparation, he has 16 years of training documented, like line by line, how he was feeling, what he did, what anabolics like literally like a science experiment. What's the difference? Like, if, again, world-class performer. Well, a lot of people talk about wanting to be world-class business owners. You have to measure. You have to measure what's important in your business. Okay. So improve the service. I think this could happen in any business. Again, we run an online business with the Business of Strength, whether you're running a gym business in person or an online business. Here are some really simple ways that scale to improve service quality. Beat them to the punch. Like, I think about this very similarly to high-end restaurants or hotels. Whether you're having a good day, bad day, or whatever it is, your your ability to project genuine presence and smile and address people by name is super freaking important. I went to a health club yesterday, very nice health club. The service quality was average at best. It was like they were doing me a favor letting me come train in their gym. Really nice gym, but service quality, and it could change a lot just by the way you project and present. You walk into a high-end hotel, you could learn a lot from them very quickly in hospitality. The next thing is pride in the workspace and yourself. Again, we've moved our HQ location 3 times. Now I think we have a world-class facility. We didn't before this, but we always had world-class we presented very well, where we were always on brand with Varsity House. Always. We were always training. Always. And that was always a focus point. If you do have a gym, keep it clean. If you have broken equipment, get it out of the line of sight of your clients. If you're training people on Turnkey Coach, you better make sure that is freaking updated and ready to go before their session starts. They're not texting you. They're like, oh, my training's not uploaded. That's on you. That's presentation, okay? Pride and consistency in delivery. Again, that leads to the last point, is if you deliver sessions for the upcoming week and your program is supposed to be done by Friday at 1 o'clock, do what you say you're going to do. If it's memorable, it's repeatable. In terms of service, highlight victories. It is about them. It is about the client. Highlight their victories. Be genuinely happy. I can tell you the reason why the business of strength has grown the way that it has is I genuinely get the same thrill that I got from training somebody who won the Super Bowl, who won the NCAA wrestling tournaments, to Olympic hopefuls that we have in the gym now. Like, it's about them. It's all about them. And if you get them what they want, it's incredible what starts coming back your way. The next thing in terms of improving service is affirm the next visit. You could do this anywhere. So let's say you get off this call with Andrew. Hey, Andrew, this was so great. I really appreciate it. When's our next call? When's the next obligation? 2 weeks? Okay, 2 weeks, Thursday, 2 o'clock. Perfect. I'll be ready. Right? It's affirming the next visit. That's the easiest way to improve service quality because it makes it predictable for the client and helps hold them accountable. And last but not least, this can be slightly nuanced, but it is about the client. You have to listen, especially if you're training adults. There's a lot of stress factors with getting them results. Listen to what they need. Listen to what they want. And it should be a healthy dose of, what they need versus what they want. And you need to be towing the line of that as a coach all the time. Okay, all the time. The way that we do that is, I think so much of the trust building and rapport building happens in the onboard, whether I'm talking about a gym client or somebody in the business of strength. The onboard is so critical. We have an interpersonal code of conduct, and it is called SWIFT. And if you are anybody that hopes to hire people in the future or have team members, everybody needs an interpersonal code of conduct and core values. Our interpersonal code of conduct is SWIFT. It's smile. Whatever you do, do it smiling. Whatever you do, you have to be working the room. There's no lifeguarding here. You are moving in the room. Whether if this was live and I could see people, I'm going to be engaging people by speaking to them one-on-one, addressing Mac by his name, addressing Dan by his name. I'm working the room of who I'm speaking to. It's critically important. Instigating success. Instigating success could just be, hey, you missed your last session. Why? All right. Chief reminding officer, some healthy taps to get you going forward. Finding friends. I think one of the things, I don't know if we said it before or before we jumped on the recording, but the entire reason that the business of strength exists, and Mac, you can attest to it, there's friendship in that room. There's just friendship in that room. And it's undeniable. And when we're going to a place, I know I can count on a certain number of people to be there because we've done what we said we were going to do and helped a lot of people over the years. And last but not least is being thankful. I remind our team every single town hall, without our clients, we have no paychecks. They can go 1,000,001 places, especially here in New York and New Jersey. Genuinely thank people for their time. It's their number one commodity. Like, right? It's the only unrenewable resource. Thank them. Genuinely be thankful that they're spending money to do work with you. The second thing is core values. I don't care where you're coaching. You should have a set rule of core values that you hire and fire based off of. And this is for clients too. Ours is hungry, humble, and a commitment to excellence. We've added one in recent years to be socially smart, but it's hungry, humble, committed, and be socially smart. Understand the room that you're in and how to treat people and talk to people. And one of the biggest superpowers that we've had is hire people who deeply want to serve others. If you want to be a coach, again, we've talked about this a lot in the last half hour here. I want people that get a thrill out of being a service provider that helps get others what they want. And if you don't have that, it's going to be tough sledding to achieve success. This is a picture, Andrew. I think you're in this picture.
I should be in there somewhere.
There in the back. So we've gone to this bar plenty for certain events, but this is the reason why I didn't use a gym photo. This is a business of strength photo. And the reason why I used it is because this is an online business with in-person culture. And you have to do some of this. And I think anybody listening to this can do that. Like I just saw Turnkey at the Arnold with John Gaglione, Matt Wenning. Yep. That's an example of that. People signing up to do a powerlifting meet, people signing up to do a high rocks together. I don't care what people like or don't like. It's just there can be an in-person component to online coaching, and there certainly can be to in-person coaching as well. Okay. Super important to do things like this. I think about 20 years and 20 years, it's a while to do anything. And the quote that captures my attention on it is this: overnight success is almost always the result of years of invisible work. And these pictures are not from the last 20 years. The relevancy of these are pictures from February 2026. Top left is Chris, Oradell facility leader, at the New Jersey Governor's Ball with some of our members from Oradell, one of which works for the governor. This is Joe with John, Alex, Anthony Looney, his son Antonio at Winter Strong, Sornex. This is Mike and Steph. We have a client who is the CEO of a company, and he asked if we would come and do a in-service for what ended up being 150 people. Pretty awesome. Paying it forward for free. In the same month, this was trainer school. Down here is our local congressman, Mike Lawler, who came in for a training session. Over here is us going to one of our friends, Dan the Coffee Man. He does all of our coffee at all of our events. He just opened up his own shop, and we went to support him. What's old is new, right? And I think a lot of times the misconception is, you get 641 clients, you don't have to do shit anymore. It is the biggest fallacy. We do more of this than anybody I know. And it has changed my life in more ways than just financially. Obviously, I want to let everybody know that watches this. Our next live event is Weight Room Wealth, June 4th and 5th, right here in our backyard in Orangeburg. And thank you to you guys for giving me this platform and the opportunity to speak here today. And obviously, if you have any questions, I can stop the share and you guys can shoot away.
Awesome. Appreciate that, Dan. That was it's always really interesting to see how other organizations, especially at your scale, have grown into the systems and how you think about the problems in your business. Like you said, everybody has problems, but it's really interesting how the problems at the surface might sound similar, but the complexity maybe changes. And my experience, having come from the corporate world in my past, where I was working at multi-billion-dollar companies, and there'd be these things in place that I'm just like, I don't understand how it got to this point. And then going from that into a startup, and you gradually see how the systems need to evolve as you get bigger and as you scale. So I think a lot of people, I think you can benefit a lot from kind of seeing things from your perspective as you've gotten to, running hundreds of people, multiple gyms, and now coaching other people. I'm curious, when you talk to gym owners and they see all these systems and what can sometimes feel like more admin when they're already in the trenches, kind of like juggling all these different fires, putting out fires. How do you help people think about their time? Like you said, where you spend your time is where your priorities are. How do you help people think through spending time on something that feels like system or administration, or like it's hard to connect, putting effort into scorecards as an example, when they feel like they've got this 5-alarm fire over here on the side, that if they don't fix that thing, then like they're not going to make payroll, or they're not going to pay the rent. Like, how do you help people think through that transition?
So the first place that I'll start with almost everyone is just auditing their time. Again, like, what are you prioritizing? Show me your schedule. I don't have a schedule. What do you mean? Like, oh, well, I have my coaching schedule. Okay, show it to me. And it's like 22 session hours. All right, well, like, where do you do payroll? Oh, in between. Do you ever meet with your team? Sometimes. Where do you market? Driving in the car. Like, what do we like? I do a truck talk. I share something on social media at a stoplight. Like, and I think it all starts with, I mean, look, just saying this, sometimes for me, it's, I had these same issues, right? I used to complain, I'm out of time. I'm freaking stressed. It's chaos. It's like, my schedule is a disaster. Why don't I start doing a schedule and make things memorable in my weeks so that it can free my mind to be creative and have a moment to myself? And now there's certain things that are just so memorable. Like, I know when town hall is, I know when check-ins are, I know when I do my calls. Like, even when we're like, hey, let's do this. Like, awesome. I could do it Thursdays. I do all my calls on Thursdays, and it doesn't change unless I'm traveling. It's the same every week. And that has given me a lot of freedom. And to this latter part of the question on creating the scorecard, I am horrible with the visualization of like what the scorecard looks like or where it needs to go. I will literally, pen and paper it and like drop it on Adam's desk and be like, dude, this has got to look good in Google Sheets, or I don't know how you're going to do it. That's the stage of business that we're in today, unfortunate. But it does not have to be that way either. If you're a startup business, or, you have one coach, it might be able to just live in a running Google document where it's just like, hey, Did we do our reach outs? Yes or no? Like, did we do a card this month? Yes or no? Who did you send it to so we don't send it to the same person? Like, I still have a whiteboard in our office with our goal metrics on it, and with a dry erase marker, I update it every Monday. That's how I start my week. It has a very weird grounding sense to know, like, hey, how many did we gain? How many did we lose? What's our attrition percentage in real time? And I write it on the board and it stares at me. It's right here. Stare at it. It's
that's such a great point. And that's actually one of the things I've seen that blew my mind. Again, not really knowing how big businesses work, but how, like, the percentage of a multi-billion-dollar business that runs on Excel spreadsheets is shocking, And I've seen multi-million-dollar errors made because somebody put the wrong, function in an Excel spreadsheet.
Totally.
And completely botched the business model. But mistakes can happen, but the simple, hard, effective tools, just like we talk about with our programming philosophy, work for running a business as well. You don't have to make everything look pretty. If it gets the job done, it works.
Totally. And like, a lot of the things that happen here don't look that pretty. I'm be honest with you. They still don't. But they are done with high intent.
The time check real quick. Do you have a hard stop?
I'm good.
You're good. Yeah. So, obviously, if you're on X or you're, following social media or the news, technology is changing rapidly in every industry, and we're starting to see it in fitness as well. And technology just seems to be accelerating all the time. How, as a business of strength, leader and people, in talking to coaches and gym owners, how are you guys thinking about tools and software and AI in the context of coaching and what you're seeing, across the business of strength community?
I mean, look, I mean, this could be a naive answer, but I really do think the connectivity of coaching and building communities, and especially building spaces where people congregate, is maybe one of the safest things that you've got right now. I'd be very worried if, I don't want to. My sister-in-law works in a space that's getting, she's in HR, and it's ugly right now. Again, service, it comes back to this, like, service quality never goes out of style, and AI, at least not yet, from what I've seen, it can't recreate relationship. It can't recreate connectivity. It can't recreate understanding you as a person. I mean, I guess it could a little bit, but I can't stress enough the communal side of things and the connection side of things. It is the whole reason why we're still in business, because there's so many gyms, and it's why the business of strength even exists. It was friends helping friends, to the point where it was like, hey, I don't want you to do a favor anymore because this is really helping. So what can I pay you? And that's how the business blossomed, and how you can use AI tools. I mean, you can use AI tools and you can use softwares and technologies to just amplify your service and create, help you do the work that you do faster. Because I know that there is, and we use it here and now, where we use Turnkey Coach, we use Go High Level. We're using things where there's plenty of automation and technology support to help us spread the word to 641 clients, from a programming standpoint, from a sales standpoint, and just make people feel the love, which is service.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, it's interesting because doing these interviews over the last year, even with online coaches, it kept coming up over and over and over again that the most powerful thing you can do to lever your time is to get out into the community, wherever that might be. If you're an online coach, you could still be part of your local community, go out, do fun runs and know the coffee shops. And, you guys talk about that too all the time. Know the vendors in your local area and, help connect people there. And I felt it times 1,000 hanging out with Matt Winning and John last weekend. That was like one of the coolest things I've done in years, because I really fell in love with barbell training in a group training environment that was just like that. Loud music, like you guys talk about, weights clanging and banging. Might not be the best business model.
No, definitely not.
But it's a hell of a fun thing to do, to get people together. And I think that's one of the things we try to do with Turnkey Coach. That really the game changer for us from a platform standpoint was when we integrated screen recording. And even in an online capacity, being able to for your clients to be able to see your face and your body language and hear your voice. It's not as good as the in-person group training environment, but is as close as you can get, and while still having all the benefits of not having to be in the same place at the same time. At some point, that becomes a good solution.
Totally.
And like you said, I also find it interesting lately, as more and more people are playing with AI, that it accelerates or amplifies, like you said, your intent. And that could be a good thing, and that can also be a bad thing. I mean, AI slop is real, and I see people that have sloppy thinking just amplify that and proliferate more garbage. Or you can use it to reduce clicks. We've got a feature that's about to release. We're calling it the assistant coach, which under the hood is AI, but you don't really need to think of it as AI. We're trying to remove clicks, not the coach. So instead of somebody having to fill out a bunch of spreadsheets essentially to do the programming, you can have an assistant coach that does a lot of the admin, so that you can focus your time. And again, like you talked about, prioritize your calendar on the connection with your client, not filling out a spreadsheet on a computer. So it's technology to leverage your time to be able to focus on the things that are your real priorities, not
totally. I mean, we use the AI like scheduling tools for our marketing. I mean, scheduling of marketing. It's sped us up, and everybody's going to need to use it in some category. But yeah, I mean, I think what you guys did with Wenning and John, and like that stuff is, I mean, so important. I've been to Summer Strong the last few years. I mean, they're an equipment company running an event that has 600-700 people showing up. I honestly don't know if they make money doing it or not, but I can tell you that they're making money on the back end from building community. That's for certain.
Well, I think I talked about it with Joe, or it might have been you at Arizona, but I'm sure running an event and having run events, it's like, if you are making money, the margin is razor thin. It's like, it is so hard to make money, but it is, like you said, it is worth it on the back end. But a couple of closing questions regarding Varsity House, getting back on that. If you were starting Varsity House today, kind of going back to what we were talking about, thinking about things through the lens of being on one side versus the other, but if you had to start from scratch, knowing what you know now, is there anything that you would do different?
I think I asked the same question to the panel in London. Yeah, I mean, for us, there was two things that I avoided early on. I wanted to learn nothing about the business from others outside of experience. I was willing to learn about how to be a better coach. I was unwilling to sacrifice time, energy, and money to learn how to run a better business, because I thought what we had was unique and special. It wasn't. I should have hired a coach, and it's not even self-serving to me. We eventually did. I still have one, but I wish I would have not been a knucklehead idiot and understood that, like, hey, I need some help, and the only thing that's going to speed me up here is somebody who's been there, done that. I wish I would have done that earlier. The second thing is, I wish I would have understood that marketing is a fixed expense. And I did not think so. I had a scarcity mindset towards spending money on marketing.
Mm.
And you just have to market your business. We didn't market our business with a paid ad for 10 years. Nothing, zero. It's a waste of money. Like that was my thought process. And I think about it now as we open a new gym, like a gym such as Oradell, our most recent launch. We spent $30,000 on the pre-sale marketing process, but we opened with 88 clients. So you pay for it one way or another. You either pay for it bleeding out a P&L over 2 years to grow to 88 members, or you pay for it up front.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying everybody can spend 30 grand or whatever it is, but you better understand that you're going to have to pay for it in some form or fashion, either time or cash. So those are two things that really come to my mind as mistakes early on. And it would have definitely sped us up.
It definitely resonates with me that I continue to evolve my thinking about money, but I grew up lower, maybe middle class, call it. My mom was below the poverty line, single mom, and my dad was a teacher, and very much a scarcity mindset. Like there's this fixed amount of money. And the longer I work with money and the more money I deal with, the more you start seeing it as a database for exchanging time. And both of those examples you just talked about, we're investing in accelerating your business or your personal growth. And, we certainly see that as coaches all the time too, that like, sure, anybody could go out and probably train themselves, but they're going to be injured for 5 years. They're not going to make progress for 3 years. They're going to program hop for 6 years. And 20 years later, they're going to look back and say, if I'd paid a couple $100 a month for a coach, I would have gotten the same progress in 1 year.
It's crazy when you think about it. What is our hustle? We're selling expertise.
Yeah.
What makes you think you don't need a coach yourself?
Right.
It's crazy, but yeah.
So where do you see Business of Strength going next? Where are you taking it, and what are you getting excited about?
So we've got plenty of events. We've done a lot of traveling. The traveling gets harder with expanding families, definitely. But I love it. We had a blast in London. Our next event is in June. Then we're going to go to Park City for our retreat in September. And then we have the Underground Strength Con early 2027. So we pretty much have a banger every 3 months that we'll prepare for. So I'm obviously excited about the prospect of those things. Joe and I are in the midst of finishing the first draft of our first Business of Strength book, which is going to be awesome. And then just, with the clients that we have, we layered in an executive program this year where we're going to have 6 gym owners come to us quarterly, where we'll help them do everything from their books to their goals and objectives for the upcoming quarter. So that's something that's new, that's exciting me for 2026. And we've got our client total. We're bearing down on our client total. And, I want to see it be hit, but I also want to enjoy it. Like this is something that at least for now, we could have this conversation a couple of years from now, but the Business of Strength, for me, I really want to be able to know the businesses, connect with the businesses, create friendships with these businesses. And I don't think we can do that with 200 people in the group. So keeping service quality high, individual onboards, one-on-one coaching. I know there will be hiring we just hired somebody to help us for 2026, who's Tony Smith, a former SWAT team leader, and he's doing a fantastic job. But it's to realize our goal. Our goal is to help gym owners get what they want and have fun doing it. So awesome. I'm still having fun doing it, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Dan. Where can people find you? I know we shared the coupon, but just like one tag, easy way to get up with you.
Yeah, you could go businessofstrength.com. Everything's there. We have the podcast. The Business of Strength, that's where we've filmed 230 episodes. I mean, honestly, if people just listen to a lot of those episodes and actually pen and papered it and took some action, there's so many free takeaways from that. And I haven't changed my email to a Business of Strength email, but if you wanted to get in touch with me, it's dan@varsityhousegym.com. And I answer any and all emails that come our way, and would be happy to answer any questions that people have from this show.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Well, thanks again for everybody listening to the Business of Coaching workshop. We will be back again next Thursday with another member of the Varsity House / Business Strength team, Adam Minner.
Nice.
So we're doing the rounds with the leadership team, and we'll see you then.
Cool.